Jacob in Cincinnati, Ohio, home to Skyline Chili. It is Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and thank you for your patience while I was on vacation. And now your frame, the Rayban Clubmaster size 49, has come in, and I'm going to use it to cut your prescription polarized G15 lenses. In fact, let's hold this up and whoa, come on back, come on back. You can see how close in color that is to the original G15. And of course, you can always test if lenses are polarized. When you put them together, you can still see through them, but when you rotate one by 90 degrees, it goes dark. Can you see that, or is my hands in the way? Can you see how that goes dark? Can you? Can you? Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna cut them anyway. What you can see or not. All right, so the first thing I want to do is take out the original heavy glass lenses so I can cut your unbreakable, lightweight polycarb lenses. Let me just get the original ones out. Set those right there. Tighten that eye wire screw back up. And let's do the same thing on this side. Take that one out. Tighten this back up. Now I'm going to put your Rayban frame into my $30,000 Italian Santanelli. This is the LE1000 patternless edger. I recommend everyone go out and get one. Put it on your kitchen counter, then you can cut glasses at home. You won't need me anymore. But the stylus is now tracing the right lens, and it's going to move over and trace the left here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Rayban frame and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription or non-prescription fashion lenses if that's your thing. If you've got vision insurance and you don't need glasses, come on, get yourself something cool. Alright, so I'm going to pop in. I pulled up the shape of the lens on the computer. That is the shape of it. This is your pupillary distance, which is 63. I'm going to put that in there. These are polycarbonate lenses that I'm going to cut for a metal frame. So let's go ahead and begin. This has got to be your right lens, so I'm going to actually let me get everything back to 0. Ooh, I'm glad I did. Someone's moved the prism ring. So your prescription reads -350 in both eyes, so I'm going to put your lens into my Marco 101 lensometer. Check everything there. And I only need one dot on your lens, which I can't see, so let me get some more ink. Let's ink it up. Ink it up. Now let's put your lens back in, find the optical center, and put a dot there. That is the right. We do the same thing for the left lens. -350. Do you know how rare that is to be the same in both eyes? That is extremely rare. Just because it's muscular. You have 6 eye muscles, and I'm right-handed, so my right arm, well, while the muscle is huge, it's still bigger than the one in my left arm. The left one's still big, don't get me wrong now, but the right one's bigger just because I am right-handed. So this is a block. This is Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it was cutting. So if only I had a double-sided adhesive sticker. What do you know? 3M. The same people who 3M, because it's from the 3 Minnesotas. There's East Minnesota, West Minnesota, and North Minnesota. There is no Southern Minnesota. In fact, it all feels north while you're up there. But no, 3M makes a double-sided adhesive sticker, and I blew it. The black side is the sticky side, so I'm going to stick that onto the Jenny from the block. Pull away that side to make my side sticky. And essentially what I'm looking into is like an optical crosshairs. I have a vertical meridian and a horizontal one. And I want to get that red dot, your optical center, dead center in the middle of all of them. Now let me do the same thing for your left lens. Okay. And since you're the same in both eyes, you can actually turn your glasses around and see just the same. Very few people can do that. Your eyes are the same. That's how you can tell them apart. Or you can just take the left one out and put it on the right side, or the right side out, put it on the left, whatever works for you. But I've put your lens into the chuck, and the first thing that's going to happen, of course I like to call it the Charles because I don't know the machine well enough to call it Chuck, is that the calipers are coming down and they're tracing the shape of your frame, the right side of your frame, onto the lens to make sure it's large enough to cut out, starting with the rear surface, the concave surface, And now it is measuring the convex surface, which is the front surface of the lens, all the while measuring the thickness of the lens to know where to put the bevel so it fits best inside the frame. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It's that lighter color wheel that's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your polycarbonate material. And this wheel in the center with that little channel, that valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens. I will have to close the door in a moment, but I just want you to see as your prescription lens touches down on the cutting wheel. So your lenses are the lightweight, unbreakable polycarb. Your lenses, that's right, they're unbreakable. They're bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into them. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin from overexposure, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. And you need it in Cincinnati. That's like being in Mexico. Right? You get a personal sun that follows you around wherever you go. So one of my best friends from high school, he moved here in high school from Cincinnati, and all I heard was Skyline Chili, Skyline Chili. So when he got married in Cincinnati, we made a road trip up there. Of course, we were young and poor, so we stayed in the Motel 6 in Florence, Kentucky, right across the border. And I have to admit, that was the nicest Motel 6 I've ever been to. It's the only Motel 6, but it was a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be. But I think we ate at Skyline Chili every single meal the entire time we were there. And I had a patient here who's visiting. Her boyfriend lives here in Durham, North Carolina. She's from Cincinnati, and when she comes, she brings her own Skyline Chili hot sauce, and she gave me a bottle of it to go with my collection up here. I got my Texas Pete, the regular, I got my Chipotle, I got the garlic hot sauce, and of course I've got the Sriracha, which I think I need to get a little bit more, because there's a Chinese restaurant in our parking lot, and I gotta put the Sriracha on my Asian food. But I like that cinnamon. You guys, it's got a nice little bite to it. It's a little spicier than Texas Pete or the Tabasco. So if you notice, your lens was flat just a second ago. Now it's getting the bevel put on there. Also, you will notice there is water running in the background, but polycarb cuts dry, while plastic and high index cut wet. Now there are 2 water jets, one in the front and one in the back, and they will kick in just a moment to try and wash away this optical debris that I keep picking off your lenses. So, come on water jets, there you go. That means I'm 20 seconds away from being done. And as soon as this is done, I'll take it out and we'll get your lens mounted. So Jacob, you got to send me another bottle of not Texas Pete, listen to me. Skyline Chili hot sauce with the cinnamon. I never had a hot sauce with cinnamon in it. It was really nice. Of course, my friend took me by. We saw the house that Dr. Heimlich lived in. So if you're choking on a hot dog, you know where to go to get it removed. By the way, I'm going to start playing the drums, so you'll see me doing that more often in my videos. Alright, so I'm going to dry your lens off, because it's always embarrassing when you drop a lens on live TV, in case it gets slippery. So you still have some rough edges left over. I still have some rough edges left over. There's nothing we can do about that. So the ones that are on your lenses, we can smooth off. This is my hand stone. I can put my finger on it while it's running, and my finger gets warm due to the friction. So it's that friction that allows me to put the safety bevel on the lens. And I will use my thumbnail to scrape away the schwarf, that is what that's called, off the edge of your lens. You know what's coming. Once all of it is off, I very carefully, very neatly collect it into one pile, and then I wipe it on the floor. This is where I say, kids, stay in school. I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like that. So kids, if you're going to grow up and make a mess, you got to stay in school. So I need to take my Phillips head screwdriver, lefty loosey. See if I can do this without dropping the screw. I'm going to put your lens in the place. And this is what you're going to need to do. Take a very small Phillips head screwdriver, or if you don't have a small Phillips head screwdriver, take a hammer. Kids at home, if you're listening, don't try this at home. I am a professional. Only I know how to hit a pair of glasses with a hammer to open it up. No, so whatever you do, don't drop the screw. So have a little tray, have some type of little thing, a container, that a mixing bowl, that while you're working on this, if you drop the screw, it won't fall on the floor. Then you have to scrounge around in the carpet. That's no fun. So, alright, so that's in there tight. Let's go ahead and cut your left lens onto the left. I'm going to put your left lens in the chuck. I flipped it over to L, which means not right. And that's me, I'm not right. But now, the calipers are going to come down and they're going to trace the left side of the frame to make sure this lens will fit in there. Starting with the rear surface, the back surface. Hang on, Jacob, I just want to touch your back surface. Oh yeah, that feels good. Okay, now it's your front surface. I'm going to do the reach around and touch the front. Ah, gotcha. Now when that is done, all this and alcohol free. Can you believe that? This is how I feel revigorated coming back from my vacation in Maine. Even though the weather did not cooperate, it was like 65, 70 degrees, which is perfect. But we went there to watch the sunrise and the sunsets from Cadillac Mountain. You can Google it, Cadillac Mountain. But there was fog in the mornings and the evenings, so we just couldn't see it. So I've de-blocked your lens. I've taken your block off. I'm getting rid of that. Whee! I would like to demonstrate the laws of physics. There, does that work for you? Okay. So, is your red dot still there? Barely. Barely. Let me darken that so you can see that at home, because I will need that dot later on. It's not bad. Hopefully you can see that if I hold it up to the light. There you go. There you go. Now that is a Rayban G15. It stands for green, and the 15 means that only 15% of transmittable light actually makes it through to your iris. The lens does not block. It absorbs 85% of all available light that's coming in and only allows 15%. So you have an 85% filter going on in your eye. Now you can see how flat the edge of your lens is. Just like a nickel. If I were to take it out, it would stand up on the counter on its own. And now it's moving over to get the bevel put onto it, which is the knife-like edge. A very dull knife like me, but a knife-like edge nonetheless. But I promise the edge of your lens should be sharp enough to cut a wet piece of tissue, but you're going to have to soak that tissue in a bucket of water overnight and then press very hard with all your strength, and you might be able to cut through it. Come on, come on, come on. I got glasses I gotta cut. I'm back from vacation. There's people waiting on me. Yeah, I was surprised to learn from Rayban when I ordered your frame on a Tuesday or a Wednesday after getting the email from you from my hotel in Maine, and for some reason it didn't show up when I was waiting for it. Rayban had lost it. They couldn't track it. They didn't know where it was at, so I overnighted a lens at 5 minutes before 2 p.m. on Monday. And she goes, you know, you realize you won't be getting this overnight, within 24 hours. And I said, well, why? What's the cutoff time? And she said 2 o'clock. I looked at my watch. It was 1:55. And she goes, overnight means that by the time someone goes down to the warehouse, pulls it after lunch, after a few drinks, whenever they decide to take it off the shelf and mail it to me, which could be anywhere between 24 and 48 hours, then they would charge me the overnight fee. That didn't mean they were going to go right down as soon as I got the order and do it. That's a little surprising. Usually when you pay for something to be overnighted, it's a little misleading, isn't it? Okay, so back to the handstone, back to the safety bevel. Ooh, that's a good one. You mind if I just leave that one on there? That's the new look. All the kids are wearing it that way. Be the first on your block to have this stuff dangling off your glasses. Alright, so, see that on the counter? On the counter? Whee! Kids, stay in school. How many times I got to tell you that? In fact, kids, if you stay in school, you'll be able to burn stuff down. You won't just have to make a mess on the floor. You can burn stuff down to the ground. Alright, so lefty-loosey on the left side of your frame. Your gold eye wire screw is in there. And in fact, you don't have to take it out all the way because your lenses are unbreakable. So if it's in there just a little bit, you can, I'll demonstrate, let me show you. Oh, there it is, a screw dropped. I missed. Okay, I won't show you. But normally, if it doesn't come out all the way, you could tuck it in at the outside corner, then push down at the nose. But if you can, have something underneath that will catch this screw, because I don't have any extra ones to send to you. And then we're going to tighten that down. Take that block off. By the way, this is a $300 tool for taking this off. This is a $15 tool that works great. While that's stuck on your lens, you just grab that. But no, I can't use the $15 one. I want to use the $300 one. Stick that back on my magnetic toolbar there. Pull that sticker off. Display the laws of physics again. Whee! Now, your pupillary distance is 63. Actually, you can't see that, so I'm going to hold it up to the light. I'm going to place my PD stick against my thumb on your right lens, and then when I hold it up, hopefully you can see that. I can't tell. I don't see what you're seeing, but you should see 63 on there. If not, go get a new eye exam, because that's 63. You just can't see that. I don't make mistakes. So, I need to remove the dots off your lenses now. In fact, I need to remove the lenses. You ain't getting this frame, Jacob. You didn't pay me that much. So, where's my little red Sharpie? There we go. This is the Rayban 3016 size 49 Polar G15. I hope you don't mind my abbreviation for polarized by saying polar. So, let me undo the screws. You see how I'm doing that, kid? Hey, young guy who's buying these lenses, you see how I'm doing that? I loosen it, now I'm gonna tighten it back again. I'm gonna loosen that screw, pop the lens out. Now see, yeah, that's still in there. You see that? This is how you can do it. Tuck it in at the outside corner, then using your thumbs, press down at the nose, and then tighten the screw up. Let me set that there for now. Where's my cleaning? There it is. There it is. I think you can tell right from left. If this doesn't fit in one side, then put it in the other. But you know what? I'm going to give you that extra. It's going to cost an extra $100, but I'm going to write right and left on your packets. We have right